Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Lilybyred Cross Esther Bunny Mood Cheat Kit No. 2 Pink Sweets. I picked these up because I had some Lilybyred Esther Bunny collection previously, like last month or the month before, and I loved them, and I just looked at the palette and I hadn't bought it to start with because I was like, do I really need another pink eyeshadow palette? And then I looked at it again and I was like, yeah I do. Why wouldn't I? So I decided to pick this up. It's not a hugely expensive product. Oh, maybe it is. It's showing up as $26 US, so I don't know if I bought it for that price or if it was on sale. I really hope it was on sale because it seems really expensive for what it is. Anyway, I digress. It's got Esther Bunny on it, cute colours, pink packaging, like so far up my alley. You know, I don't even feel like I need to justify why I bought it. So for this shadow palette, the product description says, Lilybyred Cross Esther Bunny Collection, from glitter to matte texture. A face palette that uses your own natural beauty to luminize and add the perfect flirty blush. Harmony of bright pink and sensual brown colours. 9-colour eyeshadow palette to complete gradation eye makeup with a variety of colour. Perfectly blendable formula glides on skin and creates a vivid colour. So the packaging of this is obviously like so me. It's pink, it's got Esther Bunny on the front, and yeah, there is nothing more to say about how cute I find this. It is pretty functional. It just has a lid on top. However, there is no mirror in this. I feel like I really do like to have mirrors in my makeup compacts, but I really like the Lilybyred sort of Esther Bunny that they've got on the front and that you can see through it, because I feel like the colour of these shadows looks so nice with the colour of the palette that I can't be mad at it. But if you like having mirrors in your products, you are going to be disappointed. There is no mirror. There are 9 shades in the collection and they are all so beautiful. I am absolutely in love with them. The only one that I don't particularly like that much is the very first colour, which is called Pink Mocky, because it just doesn't look like anything on my skin. Other than that, I feel like they've just gone for that one for like a nice base colour. I would use it on my lid if I wanted to neutralise some of the veins in my eyelids a little bit more, but I'm so lazy that I don't normally do that, so therefore I don't really have that much use for it. I suppose you can probably use it as a brow highlight, but I'm really pale, so I feel like I don't need a brow highlight. Like, what do you think? Do you think I should have had a brow highlight today? Let me know. So this is Pink Mochi. It is pretty much, you can't see it on my lid, it's the faintest sort of like peachy kind of colour, if that, but it's just a very general base colour. The next shade is called Rose Macaron. This one is a really pretty, very pink brown colour. Berry Chocolate is a really lovely mid-brown colour. I like this one all over my lid and I find it pretty easy to blend out, though I'm pretty sure that on camera it looks not as great as it looks in real life. Popping Candy is a really cool colour. It looks like a beige in the pan, but then on my eyelid it has a lot of pink and sort of purple glitter. It's a really beautiful shimmer colour. Strawberry Gelato is a really pretty milk pink shade. This one doesn't show up on camera nearly as much as it does in real life. It is actually the most beautiful pink, but it is very sheer. Cherry Crunch is probably my favourite shadow in the collection. It is this beautiful sparkly pink that just looks oh so gorgeous. I don't feel like it has very much of a base colour, but it is so chock full of pink glitter that you can definitely see it. Berry Bonbon is another light pink. This one has gold glitter in it and it is so subtle and beautiful. Mixes really well with Strawberry Gelato. These ones aren't highly pigmented, but it's a very even pigmentation, so they look like the most beautiful watercolours.
Red Bean Mousse is another really pretty shimmery shade. I love how much glitter is in this one. It looks absolutely beautiful.
And the last shade is Choco Tart, which is a matte dark brown. This is such a pretty matte dark brown and I can blend it a little bit better than normal. My blending skills are not that great normally, and this is no exception, but it's not so bad. Okay, so I just unboxed this and swatched it, so I'm just going to jump straight in and do probably the most basic eye look that I can probably think of. So I'm going to pick how I pick my colours. I'm going to do this brown here as a transition, and then I'm going to be doing, let's do the light colour shimmer in the inner half and then this darker shimmer on the outer half, and we will see how we go. I'm just going to be going a little bit lighter, so the colours when I swatch them are quite pigmented, but I've actually got a new student coming over for a lesson and I don't want to look too OTT. When I say like a little student, they're only 6, and it is, yeah, just I mean, they're not going to be impressed by my makeup. I'm just going to put some on the bottom part of my eyelid as well, just to kind of connect it in. So it's quite a pink sort of brown, so I don't want to make it look like I've got pink eye, but also I know that if I don't put anything on the bottom, it's going to look very top heavy and very strange. Sorry for that little clicking noise you can hear. That's me tapping the excess product off so that I don't use too much. Well, that was super easy. I really like how light that is there. Then I'm going to go in with that light shimmer and I'm going to put that in the inner half, or maybe inner 3/4 of my lid, just so it's a bit easier to blend. This one's got a really interesting glitter. It's very pinky purple, which I think suits the palette a lot. And for such a light colour, it's actually pretty easy to work with. I do find that with a lot of K-beauty palettes, when you have sort of like a light shimmer, they either look really chalky or just like a glitter topper and there's no actual underlying pigment. I'm sorry, I moved so far away from the camera just then, that would have been so out of focus. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner and just underneath the eye as well. And then on that same shader brush, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that dark brown shadow and I'm just going to put it right in the outer corner and then kind of flick it inwards a little bit so that it merges together with that lighter colour and just provides a little darkening. I'm going to go back in with that blending brush afterwards and make it look a little bit more seamless. It looks better in real life than it does on camera. It looks real ratchet. I'll come back and fix that later. So far the shadows are really easy to work with. I don't find that I've had any troubles with swatching them. They were really pigmented to swatch, which was really nice. The glitter did get absolutely everywhere, but that's nothing new. And they've been very easy to work with now as well. Okay, so now I've just got to fix it up so it looks a little bit less like patchy. So just we'll go back in with that blending colour and I'm just going to focus on the outer part and make sure that it looks more blended in, which always looks nice to me in real life, and then I see it on camera when I edit it back later and I'm like, how did I even leave the house looking like that? I look absolutely terrible. I don't know what it is. Even when I'm looking at it now, this looks awful. This looks fine. But if I can't see it in real life, it's really difficult to correct it. You know, if you don't know what you're correcting. So sometimes I just have to leave it and think to myself, you know, it is what it is. So this is what it looks like here. I'll show you the eye that I think looks a little bit nicer. I actually really like how this looks. It's not super intense, but it's enough to look a little bit put together. And then once I put mascara and stuff on as well, it'll look even more presentable. But I find that sometimes when people put on like a really thick liner and really heavy lashes, it kind of just hides a lot of the bad blending work. And it looks better than it, you know, it makes the shadows look better than they actually are. So I like to show you guys what it looks like without all of that extra stuff on top. So here we go. I hope you guys like this. So for this look I used strawberry gelato in my crease, and then I used berry bonbon all over the lid. I did put a bit of pink mochi in the inner part of my eye, sort of like around the tear duct, but I can't really see it, so yeah, I don't know if that one was the best choice there. So this is what the eyeshadow looks like after 10.5 hour wear test for the day. I think that it still looks totally fine. There is very minimal creasing and I don't feel like there are any bald patches, which is quite good. So this look has berry chocolate all through the crease. Then I put cherry crunch on the majority of my eyelid, as well as the under part of my eyelid, the lower lid. Same with berry chocolate, I put them in the outer corner. And then I finished up with just a touch of Choco Tart in the outer third of my eye. I absolutely adore this. I was very skeptical whether I was going to like it or not, but honestly, I think it's so lovely. Like, it's not too OTT for me, you know. So all in all, I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. Like, not just because it's pink, not just because it has Esther Bunny on it, but I love the colours. I find that all of the colours have a place and a use for me. There's no colour in here that I think, that's a useless colour, I hate it. Apart from kind of the pink mochi, like I can still see the use and I still have a use for that colour. It's just not as useful. But you know what I mean, there's, you know, in every other palette that I have, there's always a colour that I don't like. MAC Cinderella palette Have I ever used that black colour in the corner? Absolutely not. Etude House Play Colour Eyes in Cherry. Have I ever used that bright pink apart from in swatches? Nope. Even with my two Holy Grails, which are my naked palettes, there is absolutely, again, have I ever used that black colour in the corner? Nah. Same with our other naked palette. Have I ever used those two black colours in the corner? Actually, probably all three of them. I think I might have used Hustle before. Nah. And that is kind of the thing that you have to deal with when you get a palette. Not all of the colours are going to be your cup of tea, but even the dark brown in this one is my cup of tea. I'm wearing the dark brown today on the outer corner, and honestly, I think it looks really nice. And it wasn't so hard to deal with. You know, like I find dark browns really hard because I'm not very good at eyeshadow, and I will freely admit that. I find dark browns really hard to deal with. That's why all of the colours that I showed you that I don't like in those palettes were, for the majority, dark brown or black colours. I don't use them. I find them very difficult. This one, it's such a soft matte. It was so easy to pick up just a little bit and blend it in seamlessly without being super patchy or super pigmented. It just worked so well. There is no colour in here, like I said 5 times by now, that I actively dislike or would avoid, and I just love it. It's also very compact. Again, I wish it had a mirror, but also I don't wish it had a mirror because I really like the front of it and how you can see the shadows through it. I think it's really cute. But I think that the quality is amazing. I feel like the shimmers are beautiful and buttery. The mattes are not chalky. Even the lighter colors, not chalky. Nothing in the palette is hard to deal with. So I think that this is like Holy Grail status. What am I saying? Does it beat my Naked 3? No, because they're two different things. Naked 3 is really like, it's pinks, but it's more like cool tone pinks. So cool tone pinks and browns, whereas this is more like warm tone pinks. But it's a close call, man. It's a close call. So overall, if you can't tell already, I really like this. Packaging, beautiful. Colors, beautiful. Wearability, beautiful. Ability to use all the colors to make seamless eyeshadow looks fantastic. Love it. Done. Buy it. You should all buy it. Buy it. Unless you don't like pink, in which case, don't know what you're doing here probably, but don't buy it. So that's enough raving for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!